for good tidings in the future. But I wanted to talk about insurance in the country. Where are we as a republic? Do you know about insurance? Some of the services that are there, and to have this discussion, as earlier stated, is Stephen Lokonyo, MD, First Assurance, and they say, we insure, you secure, and you assure. So, Mr. Lokonyo, welcome on set as we have this discussion.
Thank you.
And straight ahead, insurance penetration in the country for a very long time has been at around 3%. Has that number changed? And if it's changing, are Kenyans also just gearing up to embrace the insurance market?
Yeah, you're right. Insurance penetration has been quite low in our country. Kenya Vision 2030 targeted to take that penetration to about 3% and above, of course. But as we speak now, that penetration is about 2.3, which is really the value of insurance premiums as a percentage of the GDP. The ideal penetration should be higher than that, so that's indicative of very low penetration for very many reasons, however. And the insurance industry largely hasn't done itself a lot of service. We possibly have had a bit of some negative perception in the past, which has possibly hampered that. But it's also education and, people being conversant with insurance. But there's a lot of opportunity in the last couple of years. The industry has grown tremendously. We've actually recorded double-digit growth post-COVID, and there is a lot of opportunity, and we see a lot of growth. And you will have seen that in the financials that were released by most insurance companies in the last month. There is good growth, and the performance is very good in the insurance industry.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And now, with all that, you say there's been a lot of negativity around the insurance, but let's talk about First Assurance. Now, the purpose of First Assurance, the goals, when I want to come to First Assurance, I want to take a policy. How does First Assurance stand out? How would I say this is the policy I want to take from First Assurance?
Yeah, so first, Dennis, First Assurance has been in this market for close to 100 years. So that means that as a company, we've definitely done some things right. We offer insurance solutions in the short term. That's short-term insurance. Insurance is split between short-term and long-term. First Assurance focuses on short-term. And we have a large range of products that speak to the various needs of the various segments of the insuring public. So we have products that are targeted at the retail segment, which is now individual insurance, like insurance for your home, for your car. And we've got other insurance solutions also that are targeted at corporates and the complex risks, like engineering risks, road construction, and the financial sector as well. But yes, First Assurance has been in operation for that long, and we continue to provide tailor-made solutions, very specific insurance solutions to the insuring public.
100 years centenarians, eh?
Yes,
quite a long time in this industry. And that comes now to the question where, I'll give an example of, say, this tablet. You buy this tablet, you have it, and most people assume it's just a tablet. Yeah. But how important is it for for Kenyans to start taking policies for their belongings, your glasses, your phone, your handbag? How important is it for Kenyans to take the need to undertake policies for such? Yeah,
so Dennis, I'll just possibly answer that from just the angle of the relevance of insurance to risk management. So in our day-to-day lives, we are faced with risks, both at a personal level and at business level. And these risks do materialize. And when they materialize, that is when you either lose an asset or get an accident, or if you fall sick, And insurance then provides that safety net that once you transfer that risk to an insurance company, then you get that protection. It takes away the worry of the financial implication of that loss. So for example, the tablet that we've spoken about, it has financial value, and that is important for you in the execution of your work. For example, if you lost that gadget today, you would need to go and buy a replacement. That is a financial loss, and that is why insurance comes in to protect you from those financial losses. But of course, that is at a very simplistic level. But in a complex scenario, you find risks that materialize that either destroy homes, they destroy businesses, and even cause loss of life. And insurance comes in to provide that safety, to provide that financial compensation when these risks do materialize.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I know insurance companies even started having policies around post-election violence. Yeah. And now there is a new phenomenon, climate change, that is, you've seen how floods wrecked this country, and a lot of property was destroyed. So in terms of just Kenyans partaking in insurance and making sure that it is part of their daily life, what would be in terms of the risk that we just experienced from climate change, how is that a challenge to the sector?
Yeah, so insurance companies have been evolving quite a lot. Of course, in tandem with the changes that are happening, both man-made and natural catastrophes. So speaking about climate change, you've seen extreme weather conditions. This can be either droughts or extreme rainfalls like the ones we have just experienced in our country and the larger East African region. We've lost a lot of assets, we've lost lives, and we've lost businesses. And this really brings to the fore the importance of insurance, because the tragedy is that most of those risks that have, most of those businesses or assets that have been lost were possibly not insured. Mm-hmm. And it will now mean that individuals, families, and businesses will have to dig into their resources to come back to business. But with insurance, you're then able to be assisted to come back to business, or to reconstruct your homes, or to buy assets that have been lost. Of course, when it comes to lives, once a life is lost, of course, there's no replacement to that life. But insurance also comes in to give compensation to families for the lost lives. So while lives will not be replaced, but the financial loss attributed maybe to a breadwinner or a family member can be alleviated using insurance. Mm-hmm. So climate change is a serious global issue at the moment. There were the wildfires in the US, some European countries, but in our own situation, the most prevalent ones are the droughts and the floods. Mm-hmm. And insurance is the right solution for these risks. Mm-hmm. The insurance sector continues to develop products to respond to all these changes. Mm-hmm. And aside from the natural catastrophes, there are also the developments that are happening around data, financial risks, and all these things bring to the fore new risks, and as insurers, we are constantly coming up with products to respond to these emerging needs. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, in this country, there is one saying that whenever you hear it, your blood kind of almost freezes. You are a sickness away to poverty. Yeah. A sickness away to poverty. And here I see you offer first afya biashara. Now, when you talk about this policy in terms of healthcare to individuals, how important is it for Kenyans to get into policies on medical? Because majority say, I might get into insurance, but never get to really fall ill until they fall ill. So in terms of first afya biashara, what are some of the services you have for Kenyans out there?
Yeah, thanks, Dennis. That's really a very good question on that touches on our innovativeness. So SMEs in this country, the micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, comprise over 90% of registered businesses in this country. And I think the CS for Cooperatives, Honorable Chelugui, has spoken about that in many of his engagements. So this is a sizable part of the business community. and they have unique needs. So as First Assurance, we went out of our way to come up with a product that speaks to the uniqueness of this segment. This segment suffers from cyclical inflow of revenue. They have got small groups to insure. In some of them have got very young workforce. And in some extreme cases, you have enterprises that have got fairly older people running them. So the first Afya Biashara, the first thing that we did was to come up with a product that is wide. We did away with most of the exclusions that are typical in insurance policies. We literally cover almost anything under the sun in terms of the illnesses that are covered by this policy. We have also taken care of the current emerging concerns in the workplace, like mental health, for example. Old policies never covered expenses related to mental illness, substance abuse, and there was so many exclusions, including even waiting periods. So what we have done is to make the cover as wide as possible. We have made it possible for members who buy these covers to access healthcare across the country, and they're even able to fly out of the country for specialized treatment. So health insurance is critical for us, and you're right that most families are just an illness away from absolute bankruptcy. And this product, it's affordable. We can tailor make it for the specific needs of that enterprise. And I gave you an example of, let's say, employees who are above, let's say, childbearing age. You don't need maternity insurance for that group. You have got employees or groups that are made up of very young people, maybe people in their early 20s. The concern is possibly not on the chronic illnesses, but the normal ailments. So we are able to just package the product for the very specific needs of the client. And then for the part of the premium, we also have partnered with the banks to give premium finance so that the premium payment is spread over a long period, so that then it is not a burden to the SME in terms of premium payment. So it is a wide cover, it is flexible, it is affordable, and it will be there when that need truly arises.
And Lukonyo, there's something that is very critical, and I think for me something that rings home, because in this Afya Biashara, you've taken mental illness coverage as one of the subject matters here. Why mental illness? Because many people would say that is a risk I don't want to be involved in because I don't understand it, rightfully so. But here is something that you've stated: mental illness is part of the things that we cover. Why so?
Yeah, the world, Dennis, has become a very complicated place. There are a lot of pressures associated with simply living your life today. And mental illness, substance abuse have become very common. And it's even been in the national agenda in terms of substance abuse. And that is, it comes along with mental illness as well. So for a very long time, mental illness, substance abuse was viewed with a very negative, in a very negative manner. But these are illnesses like any other. And it is not right to deny healthcare to a colleague or an employee purely because of the source of that illness. So for us, we are conscious that the pressures of life, the workplace environment, it's been very complicated since the COVID time. And because of its prevalence, it's definitely important that these complications are covered under a normal health insurance cover.
And I have to say that is a good way to go, because mental illness in this country continues to increase every other day. It is a worrying trend, not only in Kenya, but the world over. And if First Assurance is coming through for people with mental illness, step in the right direction. But now let's talk about some of the products that you have: motor insurance, medical insurance, professional indemnity.
Yeah.
Professional indemnity. Take me through that.
Yeah, so there are insurance covers that are simple, straightforward. Those ones are now the retail insurances. Yeah, I gave you the example of your home insurance and your car insurance. And then there are those insurances that are targeted at businesses, generally standard covers. But then there is this special category that you've now mentioned, the professional indemnity. This is insurance that is targeted at professions. It can be, let's say, professions like doctors, lawyers, engineers. So these professions have got special attributes to them. A lot of trust is bestowed upon these professionals in the discharge of their daily obligations to their customers. But sometimes they go wrong in terms of how they advise clients, or the solutions they give, or in the form of, or in the case of a doctor, even treatment given to a patient. So we have now, these products now cover all these errors and omissions and negligence, that arises out of the discharge of these professional, these professional obligations. So this then gives professionals that peace of mind that even as I give this professional advice to a customer or a client, if by any means I make an error or an omission while doing that, then I have protection from insurance. So we have, the products across the range of most of the professions. Yeah.
Now, Lokonya, I'm pretty sure when it gets to your Easter, Christmas holidays, you want to go have a good time, travel, and enjoy fun. Now, here is a question where there is travel insurance. Why travel insurance? Why is traveling or having a good time associated with that risk?
Yeah. So while traveling, of course, there is increased risks associated with the travel itself. Either it's the conveyance that you are using or the activities that you engage in while on holiday. So those introduce a set of risks that are unique to that trip. And there are also trips that you undertake outside your country, or the country for that matter. So while on travel, this cover gives you that protection. It gives you medical insurance if you fall ill. Because your normal medical insurance will really be for your country of residence. But when you travel out of your normal country of residence, you need insurance to provide you for that illness or accident that you suffer while out there. But it also covers many other things. It covers, it compensates you when there is flight delays or cancellations. If you have possibly had to cancel your booking because of maybe a family member falling ill at home or, unfortunately passing away. But even if the worst happens while out of the country, and an insured passes away, that policy actually covers the costs of repatriation of those remains. So it's really a special type of insurance because it makes sure that in that foreign country that you visit, that you actually get to enjoy yourself and get to do the things that took you there without the worry that if I fell ill or got an accident, what then will happen? So it offers a lot of convenience, and it is a product that is a must-have for anybody who does regular travel. First Assurance offers a very good product, and we have partnered with assistance companies outside the country so that wherever country you go to, you get an incident there is a number that you just call and you get assistance. You are directed to a hospital and you're given the assistance that you require so that you can enjoy your trip and have the fun that you had planned. Yes.
So it is pretty much go have fun,
Absolutely.
Take your selfies, and even when your phone gets lost, still First Assurance will replace your phone.
Yes, for the assets that you have while traveling, those ones are covered under your other normal, like the home insurance. For covers now for things that you move around with, like your watch, your phone, wherever you go, anywhere in the world, that cover actually responds. So all you need to do is just to, to just get an incident report on what happened. When you come back home, you will get a new gadget to replace the one you lost.
Very well. That is Stephen Lokonya as he just takes us through what insurance means, what advantage insurance has towards you and your product and your belongings pretty much. If you want to go to the coast, go enjoy, take your selfies, enjoy your macchiato.